Good morning, Thomas MacLaren. In the midst of our strange new reality of social distancing and staying at home, I have been especially grateful for the ways that technology allows us to maintain some sense of community and connection. Today, I want to tell you a story of a time when a radio station provided that same sense of assistance and community in the face of natural disaster. On the evening of March 27th, 1964, a 9.2 megathrust earthquake struck near Anchorage, Alaska, for nearly 5 minutes. The resulting damage was extensive across southern Alaska, and the resulting tsunamis are recorded as far away as Peru, New Zealand, and Japan. While the damage was extensive, Alaska's low population and the evening timing of the quake likely spared many lives. Anchorage, at this point an up-and-coming frontier city of 100,000 people, took the brunt of property damage. Entire neighborhoods slid down bluffs, the airport control tower fell over, and a new 5-story JCPenney store collapsed. One side of 4th Avenue in downtown Anchorage dropped 12 feet below the other side of the street, even as houses and cars remained exactly as they were. Phones and power were cut throughout the city. Caught downtown in the midst of all this was a mother of 3 named Jeannie Chance, who worked as a reporter for a radio station, KENI, and had a portable radio unit in her car for reporting. Initially, KENI was knocked off the air, but returned about 18 minutes after the quake on backup generators. Jeannie grabbed her radio and started talking. As she worked her way to police headquarters, the extent of the damage became clear, and the police eventually asked her to stay at headquarters and provide news and information to the community, as they had no other way of addressing the public. Jeannie remained at the police station most of the day, passing along messages from the authorities, requests for assistance, and as the phone lines gradually returned, messages from family members. We have some of those recordings. I'd like to play 2 selections for you. This first is a general report, and you see the community concern.
The police dispatcher just now asked me if I would please request that anybody who has a spare chlorinator available could get it to Providence Hospital. They are in dire need of a chlorinator there at Providence Hospital. All movable equipment and supplies were evacuated from Presbyterian Hospital to Providence. At this point, they are making every effort to keep the hospital supplied with water, but they have now put out a call for a chlorinator. People of Anchorage, Alaska can rise to the occasion. Those of you whose services are not needed at this time, our urge to you is seek shelter, seek warmth. Be sure that you have plenty of food in your house. Flashlight batteries, use them sparingly, because we have no idea how long it will be before the power will be back on.
Eventually, KENI signal was picked up and repeated by a radio station in Fairbanks, Alaska. A man in Juneau called a station in Seattle and played KENI signal to them over the phone via Fairbanks. Suddenly, Jeannie was the central communication point between Alaskans and the rest of the world. Reporters from the lower 48 called in and interviewed Jeannie. Families called in and asked for messages of safety to be conveyed to their loved ones, either in Alaska or elsewhere. Again, a recording.
Howard Forbes would like it be known that he will be at Mike Whitmore's. A message to Kenneth Sadler. Mrs. Sadler is fine. Kenneth Sadler is out in the bush and listens on a transistor radio. Mrs. Sadler is fine. A message to Walter Hart at Kenai. A message to Walter Hart at Kenai. Lee Hart is fine.
Jeannie talked to Alaska from Friday evening till Saturday night. Nearly 59 hours nonstop. After a few hours of sleep, she returned to the air and broadcast through the weekend. Her steady voice helped guide Alaskans as they worked together to rescue and recover from the initial shocks of the quake and to provide a connection to the outside world. In the aftermath, Jeannie's parents wrote suggesting she send the children to Texas while things settled in Alaska. Jeannie wrote back, "We must all be together. As long as we are together, we are confident of the future. Until we are all together again, I wish you confidence and health and the determination of Jeannie Chance."